Then it'll be like, well, I would choose whichever form of currency is the cheapest for me to use to get the gallon of milk. You understand, right? So if I say, well, this in dollars is only $1.75, right? So if you want to use dollars and you have dollars, then you'll just pay for it in dollars. But let's say you don't have dollars. Let's say you have something else that you can pay for it with, but it makes the value even cheaper, right? So, hey, if you use these coins or these stable coins to pay for it, a certain stable coin, then the milk is only, 12 cents or something like that. That's what's coming. That's the options that's going to be down the pipe. Now, you can wrap your head around how that's going to happen, but it's definitely going to be something like that, because this is how they're going to get stable coins online and get people to really to start buying them and understanding how they work. And just to put out there something that's an alternative to the dollar. But it doesn't matter, because America is going to control it, and all those stable coins will be still backed by dollars. And then eventually, now they're going to back them by energy. And then, like I said, the end game will be gold and silver. But it's a lot that's got to happen for us to get to that point. But if you're paying attention, you can slowly see how the price of gold and silver has been climbing. If you listened to me a couple of years ago, if you listened to me last year even, I was telling you guys to buy silver, buy it, buy gold, buy the little grams for $130, $140, what have you, or the half grams, what have you. The price is only going to go up. So if you guys bought silver, if you bought a shitload of silver, then you're sitting on a lot of money, since silver, especially when silver hits $70, something that people never thought that they would see. It almost doubled, right? So again, I showed you guys my silver bars. I have a lot of them. I constantly buy silver, and I suggest you guys do the same as well. It's something that's going to be kept quiet as it builds and grows. But if you know, you know. So that's what it's going to be about moving forward, taking the assets that you have and investing them in the right things. Plain and simple. It's not going to be what you think it is moving forward. And you can have as many dollars as you want and think that you're safe, but you won't be if your money is not in the right place. It's important. You guys got to really do your research on this and really understand what's getting ready to take place and what's happening, right? So yeah. Before I go, let me get into football real quick. I know a lot of you guys hit me up, and I told you guys where to put your money. And if you listen to me and put your money on San Francisco, you made a lot of money, which I did as well. And I told you guys, that would happen. But, a lot of people getting into sports and, what happened in the divisional round. And it's a lot of, talk about, the black quarterback. And this is not new. It's not something that we just now seen. This has been since the beginning of the NFL. And so many black quarterbacks has been around, and so many quarterbacks has gotten railroaded, black quarterbacks, because of racism. And, the situation with Josh Allen seems like a cool dude. Everybody wants to give him a pass because he went on TV and he cried because, the dude had 4 turnovers. He cost his team the game. So this obvious bias is sparking a lot of debate across the internet as the treatment of black quarterbacks, because we can clearly see Jalen Hurts on the Eagles is not getting that same treatment. Again, this is something that I could already see what's going to happen. It doesn't matter, right? It doesn't Jalen Hurts is exactly what white America asks black people to be. He's a black, successful guy, speaks well, carries himself well, has good morals. He's doing what he's supposed to do. He's doing things the right way, but that's not enough, because they don't want to see that. They say that, but they don't want to see that. Now you have success. And when you're a black man and you're having success and you don't walk around carrying yourself all super ghetto, they don't like that shit. And it's crazy because there's too many coon commentators in the NFL, in sports, that's just jumping on board with what these racist people are saying, and this racist narrative. Now, if you're wrong, you're wrong. If you're corny, you're corny. It is what it is. But have that same energy with the white quarterbacks as well. And it's just not been that way. So with Josh Allen, okay, you go out there, you cost your team the game, you come on press conference, you boo-hoo and you cry, and everybody, I feel so bad for Josh. Oh, poor guy. He just works so hard. Oh, he's just so passionate. And we've seen that across sports, right? Where you have the white quarterback who can be all cocky and brash and arrogant and, dance and do everything, all that Baker Mayfield stuff, and quiet. Nobody's saying nothing about how poor their season is gone. It happened Buffalo Eagles game where Josh Allen clearly blew the game-winning touchdown wide open. He missed it. But nobody talked about that. They want to talk about Jalen Hurts and, Eagles struggles and so on and so forth. That's how it is. They kind of sort of starting to leave Lamar Jackson alone, Because Lamar Jackson, I mean, to keep it real, he looks ghetto. He sounds ghetto. He has not been successful in the NFL as far as the playoffs, right? So as long as that's the same, then they can point to it and say, well, he's a ghetto kid. He can't process it. But the guy's won. He got robbed of MVP last year. We all know it shouldn't have went to Josh Allen. It should have went to Lamar Jackson. He should have won an MVP. But they look at that and say, well, the guy's he's a good quarterback, whatever. Let's just give him that. Or they try to say it's his legs. But clearly the guy can process the NFL. He's smart enough to go out there and win a championship. It just hasn't been happening. And it's just how it is. So you guys got to realize, man, it's always going to be this type of, uphill battle for us being black people, no matter where we are, because they can say what they want, but they don't like seeing successful black people because it challenges them. It scares them that we are successful because they look like, hey, well, wait a minute. What if they all get this way? We're screwed as white folks, and they fear the shit out of that. But they don't speak for the majority of America. I think most people are cool. They're calm and chill. Some people, if you just want to see sports, you just want to watch football. Nobody want to see no racist shit. Don't nobody want to see no rigged shit. We want to see a real competitive game against teams with no referee interference, with no bullshit. And then we want the commentators, we want the press and the media after the game to call it fair. You can't just be harping on one guy and not the other guy. You can't say the same thing about one guy that you wouldn't say about the other, especially when they're doing the exact same thing. Or when one guy's not doing the thing that you're harping on at all, and he has a legit reason as to why the game ended the way that it did, like wide receivers dropping passes, people fumbling balls, so on and so forth. Like, you can clearly see it. But same thing happens with the white quarterback and, crickets, silence. It's just a stereotype, and it's just like this double standard, this weird racist thing that we can see. It's cool. I expect it from these white commentators, what have you. I just don't like seeing the black commentators do it. I just don't like seeing the black people buck dancing and throwing a black dude under the bus for some bullshit. Cam Newton, I'm not just saying this because I'm from Philly. I'm an Eagles fan. It's corny. Cam Newton and the whole Jalen Hurts thing, and him saying that Jalen Hurts is, a game manager, not a game changer, so on and so forth. When Cam went through his own shit in the NFL, so he understands being in that position. You can call it jealousy or whatnot, but it's like he knows how tough it is for the black quarterback. But he has to say what he has to say to keep his platform and to keep it controversial and keep people coming there and giving views and so on and so forth. And that's what these people are doing. It's not necessarily their ideology 100%, but they know it's going to be controversial enough to get people to come to the channel or come, watch the video or share the video, what have you. But it's messed up. It's messed up. Jalen Hurts literally where's number one. As he said, one of the reasons why it's because of Cam Newton. Never said anything bad about Cam Newton. Always been a humble guy. And just week after week, Cam's coming out and he has something to say. It is what it is. But I hate seeing it from black commentators and black, sports people coming down on these black quarterbacks and just talking trash. But we're not going to see the equality with the black quarterback position and the white quarterback position for many reasons. The main one is just racism, and they don't want to see us succeed more than them. So it just is what it is on that. When we know the majority of the NFL is made up of black players. So there's a whole debate on this on social media, which, sparked racist comments and so on and so forth. A lot of chat rooms, a lot of debating back and forth. And one of the biggest things that people were saying is how they want to see black people do this and see black people do that. They want to see black people raise their kids correctly. They want to see black people not kill each other so much. They want to see black people be more successful. And the problems that, ignorant, racist white people have with black people, they're going to the wrong people for that to be fixed. Because if you feel like you want black people to change, you need to go to the source of the reason why black people are where they are. You want black people to be more successful, you need to go to the source of why we are not. And it's not black people, because we don't control this shit. We don't. We don't control our education system. We don't control the corporations giving us jobs. We don't control them letting us into these colleges and schools and so on and so forth. And every step of the way for us to be successful, we're hindered by your system. So look in the mirror. You're asking the wrong people. Go ask your government. Go ask your congressman. Why you're not giving black people the same type of opening and, access to funds to open a business, right? We'll give you money to go to school because we know you're not going to fucking make it all the way through because you got to go to work to feed your family. We're going to give you enough to go to school, but we're not going to give you enough to, really study. We're not going to give you that extra money. right? Because you can get money for school, but then you have to work. And eventually, one is going to get in the way of the other. And a lot of people choose survival, which is going to work and getting a paycheck versus going to school to hopefully get a paycheck. And that's the system. You guys got to go and knock on the door of your own people to figure out and ask them why they're doing this and to change what they put in our way to keep us from being successful. And they knew what they was doing. Plain and simple. As I said, we are a product of hip hop culture. We don't control that shit. They do. So they successfully created hip hop culture and created a system that will allow us to destroy our community, destroy ourselves, destroy the black community, destroy the black family, right? While simultaneously scaring the fuck out of white people, right? And that's the issue, because they're so scared. Violence and black people. And it's this fear that's out there that exists that don't come from us. It's just us reacting to our reality. So yeah, it's not all of us, but that black person who you affected that turned ghetto and violent and sold drugs and want to go out robbing and killing people. We live with these motherfuckers. They live on a corner. They live down the street. They live next door. We see them. We know their parents. We know their siblings. We know them in many cases, right? Stone cold killers don't give a fuck. They'll shoot you on camera and go to jail smiling. We got to live with them, right? And we got to play a role, right? And Tupac talked about this. We are hostages in our own community because we can't come out and say, bro, you need to chill, don't do that. Because one, we're supposed to know why they're doing it. We know it's poverty, but it's nothing we can do about it. So then now we got to survive in that system, right? It's the same reason why niggas go to jail and come home Muslim, because they got to survive in there. And they understand this, right? Same type of system. Bottom line, they knew what they was doing. They knew why they set the system up the way they set it up for us to fall victim. And then now we're all trapped in here with each other. And only a few break out. Only a few make it out. And when you're young, you guys know this. When you're young, you don't know what the fuck's going on. You're just following everybody because that's the way you think it's supposed to be. Now, a lot of the people that's still here and fell victim to the trap or seen the trap or are in their situation because of this, this trap in the hood. We're desperately, they're desperately trying to tell these young black kids, hey, kid, don't do that. Don't do this. And they're not listening to us, or they're not listening to the people in those communities because they don't see no money. You broke. Why should I listen to you? I'm going to go get this money, right? Why should I listen to you when these rich rappers are rapping about this? These rich drill rappers are showing me the jewelries and the chain and everything I want to see. I'm going to go do what they're doing. I'm going to listen to what they're doing because you just some nigga in the hood. You broke. You're going to work. You're nobody. Why would I listen to you? And that's what the youth want to see. And they understand they made a system like this, right? So it's not us. It's never been us. It's been a system that they put us in and they created because they can clear as day change the community if they wanted to. They obviously don't. So as I got into this video, I talked about, markets and crypto, so on and so forth. And then I talked about what's happening with racism or what have you. Clearly, one is a distraction from the other. Right. So while we get into the playoffs and we get into sports and so on and so forth, it's okay to indulge and understand what's going on. But there's something bigger, much bigger going on the other side. Right. Bigger than you can imagine. And it's like it's growing and they're biding their time right now. And these data centers are going up and, the switch is going to get cut on eventually. Right. And then it's just so on and so forth. Digital tokens are going to be big. The tokenization of all assets is coming and we're going to start to see it. So remember, I talked about it and I told you guys because you're going to start to hear about it and see it more and more as time goes on. But yeah, stay tuned, right? So a lot more to get into with this whole situation as I will keep you guys updated in the society. I just wanted to come on here and try to keep you guys a little bit updated. But as I said, it's a lot I can't say. I probably already said too much here. But in the society, we talk about this. We talk about our plan and what we're trying to do. And, for people ask me questions and some people in society, what we talk about in the society, we keep private, we keep secret, what have you. So I only talked about a little bit here. But one of the things I want people to come away with, even in the society, is that, people ask like, hey, you're giving away your entire plan. You're talking about what you're doing. Isn't that dangerous? Isn't it stupid? And you got to understand, like, we're doing exactly what they want us to do. Right. Yes, there are rules. There are things you should not talk about. And you see what happened to a lot of these other YouTube people who was on YouTube and was doing what I was doing. It's rules you have to play by. and you have to understand how this stuff works. And the reason why I never jumped on certain platforms or joined with certain people, because I understand these rules, plain and simple. And it's just, you have to know. It's tough, but we're doing exactly what they want us to do. And that's to get the information out, because they're doing the exact same thing. So it's a way that, universal law is basically being respected, because you're seen and you're getting a warning and everything is being put right in front of your face to where you can make a choice, right? So if I'm telling you and you ignore it, or if they're telling you and you ignore it, and you don't make a choice, then the choice is yours, right? That's the option. That's what you chose. The movies are coming out. Everything is being put out there. Understand what's taking place. We are moving towards a more spiritual society down the line. What you think and what you want to happen, the possibility of it is coming. And it's not what you think it is. So again, like it's going to be craziness before then. We're talking about far down the line where we're going to be elderly in a situation that's going to be completely different. And whether or not you're set up in the right situation, is going to depend on what you do now. So imagine, and I feel bad every time I see an elderly person working, because I could never imagine. You want to retire. You want to go somewhere and settle down. Right now, in your mind, a lot of you guys, you don't see that way. You don't see that future for yourself, because you're going to have to work to maintain. And you're not using the power you have in your body today to set yourself up for tomorrow. Every day you wake up and it's, oh, well, follow the programming. And it's going to bite you in the fucking ass. Plain and simple. And it's no amount of I told you so that's going to fix it. And, we don't take, I don't take no pride. It's nothing I get from I told you so. It's another fucked up brother or sister. Somebody else I got to help down the line. I'd much rather you become way more richer than me, right? It's just better. So but it's rules. And it's things you have to do that you have to do. You have to make the choice. And it's part of what I talk about in the money video, understanding where you have to put your money and your energy into to build this better future for yourself. And money is a spiritual thing. It's a big deal, and it exists for a reason. And it's called the juice and the energy for a reason. You're going to put your energy into this money to get what you want. It's going to, create a way for you down the line. It's not about how much, it's about what you do with the money you have, right? The money you accumulate, so on and so forth, just means you're doing what you're supposed to do, right? At whatever capacity that is, right? So it is what it is. But yeah, I want to put out this video real quick. I got a lot more coming up, a lot more to get into. So yeah, I want to thank you guys for taking the time to watch. Books are coming from China. Everybody who pre-ordered, you guys will be getting those shipped out pretty soon. So thanks for your patience on that whole thing, but we got a lot to come, a lot more to get into with this whole thing. So yeah, stay tuned. Thanks for taking the time to watch and purchase and support. Make sure you guys grab that money video. It's really deep. It's only $8.99. Make sure you pick it up. But yeah, peace.